I walked down, and in the corner of my, caught my attention. There was just something kind of dark. It was night, it was dark out, and there was like a dip in the yard of the neighbors, so kind of low. And I kind of glanced over and didn't quite figure out what it was. And as I got closer, it was Ray lying in the grass. And he was a prankster, like always pulling pranks on everyone. So I thought I could just
Hiding
picture
from.
him going, here comes mom, let's scare her. Because I figured Martha was somewhere near him as well. So I just like sauntered up to him, and, there was nothing in me that went, oh my gosh, this is a
Yeah.
medical emergency. Nothing in me, which that was a guilt thing that I still deal with. It's like, how could I not know that my son was in trouble? And I actually walked up to him and went, okay, you can never beat me in a stare down. I said, I know you're going to laugh. And I got a closer look at him, and he was still holding still, but he had like a slight smile on his face, and his eyes were, I thought, oh, they're not even flickering. He's doing a really good job of
Yeah.
you know, being still. And it wasn't until I reached down and touched his shoulders, and I'm like, he's out cold. And even at that point, I go, okay, joke's over. I'm going to call 911 if you don't get up. And then I touched him and went, oh my gosh, I ran to the neighbors to their front door and said, Ray collapsed in your yard, call 911. And then I went back to him, and I don't know why, I just panicked, where I thought, I have to get Rusty, my husband. It's like, he's a police officer. He's done,
Hmm.
CPR and whatever. I'm like, I got to get Rusty. I got to get Rusty. I just have to get help. And it felt really wrong to run away from him. But when I looked back, our neighbor guy, Ken, was with Ray, and his wife was on the front doorstep with the phone in her hand. So
Hmm.
I thought my bases are covered. Somebody's with Ray, somebody's getting medical help. And I ran home, and, you know, probably days went by when I said, Rusty, what did I say to you? I don't remember his
Yeah.
one word. He just went, Ray. And I ran back out the door, and Rusty passed me, just bolted. And then I heard Ken, our neighbor, say, um, he's not breathing. And, you know, my husband tried to um,
Yeah.
revive him. And it was quite um, a long time. I can't tell you if it was 1 minute or 5 minutes, but it felt like eternity before the medics arrived. And, he just couldn't be revived. So with CF, that's not what happens. It's a
No.
progressive, slow thing where your, airways, the lung damage or whatever. I mean, this was not CF related. And I could not, I'm like, what just happened? How
Yeah.
can I just saw him running? He was fine. And
Hmm.
my son was an athlete. You name a sport, he played it. He played hockey, basketball, baseball. Um, he was a skier, a swimmer, a golfer. He earned about black belt in karate by the time he was 10. So he was physically fit, which was really good for his lungs. And he had a
Yeah.
checkup maybe a month before. And they always listen to his heart,
Hmm.
listen to his chest. It's like he's never, it was a arrhythmia, ARVD, arrhythmogenic right ventricular dysplasia. And it's the kind of thing you probably heard of young athletes that just
Hmm.
drop on a basketball court and they can't be revived. It's just a sudden um, electrical failure,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Um, but when I talked to his doctor, I say it was a mysterious death because I feel like if you have to have an autopsy to find out how
Hmm.
somebody passed, it's a mystery. And we just could not figure out how this happened. And his doctor said it would, because I had the guilt of, if I had done something right away, would the outcome be different?
Hmm.
Because it's
It wouldn't have.
immediate. It's just,
No.
and